Time to see what the wizards are up to.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, everyone. Hope you like that new intro.
Yeah, got some cool Robot Quest animation going.
Yeah, new Robot Quest intro that was actually created by Ori, who is our guest speaker. So we're just going to cover a couple quick things. Then we're going to chat with Ori, and then a couple other things. I think Rob has some Sorcerer spoilers.
Yeah, more Sorcerer coming.
Some other stuff to cover after we chat with Ori, which we're super excited about. So before we go into that, I just wanted to touch on our giveaways. So last week, congratulations to Alex D from France. You won Hero Realms. So we do these weekly giveaways. It's something we started because, well, we started this live stream because of COVID and everyone being home and you can't go to conventions and get games. So we wanted to do some giveaways and get people our games. These are worldwide. So if you enter our giveaway, it will ship anywhere where we can legally ship, which is most of the places in the world. So definitely enter whether or not you're in the United States. And this week we have actually 2 prizes.
It's an extra powerful week.
This week. So Epic Duels is one of the things that we're giving away. So this is the main giveaway. Saffron will post a link below on how you can enter. And I think this is what Duels looks like. It's this is our new Epic. I don't know if you want to talk very briefly about this really quick, Rob. Epic Duels, which is our newest. It's not in stores yet. Kickstarter backers are getting it right now.
So yeah, Epic is a super fun game. It comes like Star Realms in a little box set. The Epic Duels is a complete 2-player set, and it comes with lots of cool little accessories. We've got counters that tell you which player is going first, and rules cards, etc. And Epic Duels is fully compatible with all the Epic stuff. So if you're a current Epic player, it's got great stuff for drafting with, playing in your constructed decks, etc. However, we used a sort of simplified set of mechanics in it. So there's less keywords. We have a complete walkthrough game of a game in there. It's designed to make it really easy for new players to learn the game. So Epic Duels is a great set, and you can win one for free.
Yes. And last week, people were asking how can they get their hands on the Imperial Justice promo card. So this is a Hero Realms promo card. This was going to be our convention. I'm showing 5 here because we're going to be sending out 5 of these to 5 different people this week.
So 1 each per person, 5 people.
Per person. Yeah. So that card was included it was going to be a convention promo. So we printed quite a number of them. We were going to hand them out as a free giveaway at conventions, which we often do. But since we aren't going to be going to conventions for a while, we use some of them in a promotion with Game Trade magazine that went out to retail stores. So local game stores that get that magazine should have gotten one of these within the magazine itself. And that was just to help get more game stores interested in Hero Realms. But people saw them and heard about them, and I guess they're now selling for like $25 on eBay. So we're giving 5 away, but I'm also going to be sending quite a number to Board Game Geek as well, so that you'll be able to buy them on the Geek Store. So I'll let you know when they're going to be up there. It takes a little bit of time to get them up there, but I'm also doing that so people have a place that they can buy them from. They don't have to pay
the crazy prices. Yeah.
So there's that. And then I just wanted to mention one other quick thing. We have a new Facebook group. So in the past, we've created a new group as we have each game. And we know that that's a lot of groups for people to have to join. So going forward, we still, expect that as our games grow in popularity, like with Star Realms, that there'll be fan created groups, and that's fantastic. And we encourage that. But for Wise Wizard Games, we created a Wise Wizard Games group where we'll post about all of our games. We'll still post, in the fan groups and things like that as well. So this is a brand new group. It's called Wise Wizards on Facebook. And we are giving away this month a copy of Robot Quest. And we'll pick that from anyone who's a member. I know not everyone loves Gleam contests. This is not a Gleam contest. All you need to do is go join the Facebook group. and it's just a good way for us to reach you. We mentioned last week, Facebook pages you don't actually see the posts that we post there that often because of how Facebook works. So that's why we create groups to begin with. So Robot Quest is our new game. It has these really cute robot minis, which we've showed off quite a bit. This is Pug. This is Crate. I don't know how to. Sorry, my camera's reversed. When I look at my laptop, it's like switched, so it's hard for me to know which side I'm on. But Robot Quest is a deck building game with an arena board where you're playing these robots, battling each other, and moving around the board. And if you get knocked out, you can respawn. You're back in the game. Super fun. So I wanted to mention that we don't actually usually do a lot of giveaways for games that aren't even out yet, but for Robot Quest, we are giving a copy of that away to one random member of the Facebook group. We'll draw that at the end of the month. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that. And then also that Darwin will be streaming Starwin this week, right?
I think it's me this week. I think it was Darwin last week. Yeah.
Rob will be streaming Star Realms on Wednesday night. Come beat him. And we also post about that in the Star Realms group. Looks like we have a lot of comments here. Let's see. Oh, good. I'm glad people are excited about Robot Quest. That's awesome. And some people have already joined the group. That's great. Thank you. And how do we win a card? So Game Freak asked so the Imperial Justice promo cards and Epic Duels are the prize for our weekly giveaway. So that'll be 6 different winners. So 5 people will each win a promo card. We'll send those to you. We'll send it in a sleeve, in an envelope, not just like a loose card. And that's the link that Saffron has posted in the comments. It's a Gleam giveaway, and they will also post it on all of our social media channels. It will be posted in Discord as well. So you'll see it everywhere if you follow us, which that's what you'll need to do to enter the contest basically on Gleam, as you do various things. Whatever Saffron puts in there this week is how you enter to win those cards. And I also mentioned that we'll put those up on the Geek store as well. Let me just take this comment down.
And for the Robot Quest one, all you have to do is join that new group.
Yeah, so it's really, really super easy.
And if you end up basically, if you win, you will basically put you in the Kickstarter at just the base game level. And of course, if you wanted to, you could upgrade to get more goodies as well. But you'll be getting your game when we fulfill it to Kickstarter backers.
So I know some people have commented that they're here for Ori, not for us. Thanks.
Yes. Ori will be here soon.
So now we're going to add Ori in. So this is the first week we're having a guest. We've talked a little bit about it. If there's additional people or areas from within our company, team members you'd like us to have on here, please, post your suggestions here or let us know. You can message us on social media or to support@wisewizardgames.com. But we wanted to have Ori. We work really closely with Ori, especially when we're getting close to having a Kickstarter. With COVID, we do a lot of video shooting ourselves, and we are not experts by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah. It's actually I have to admit that I'm wearing this dress in the Kickstarter video, and this is my set. We shot yesterday. We have to shoot today, so I had to, put it on for the video shooting. So what I'm saying there is we end up doing a lot of reshoots, and Ori gives us feedback and tips. He's actually a filmmaker, by trade. So he went to film school. Ori Kagan. He runs Kagan Productions. I'll add him to the stream so we can all see him.
Here's Ori.
Here's Ori.
Hey, Ori.
Hi.
Ori is an active member of the Star Realms community, which is why I thought he'd make a great guest. And he is a video production expert, which nowadays all of us are creating videos, right? Like for our personal social media, people want to do TikTok. They want to do a lot of different things. So I thought this was a topic that would be of interest to a lot of people. We personally work with Ori. He does our video intros for StreamYard. He does videos that I need for ads and for, other marketing purposes. And the biggest thing that we work with him on is our Kickstarter videos. He is a filmmaker, but he is very specialized in animation. And so, for example, on the Kapow Kickstarter, he animated the entire game. It looked awesome. But Ori actually went to film school. So Ori, can you tell us a little, he lives in Israel. He went to Tel Aviv University. Can you tell us a little bit about going to film school, what did you learn from there that you could share with us so we could be better filmmakers?
First of all, thank you very much. I'm really, really honored to be here. I wanted to give out a shout out to Paul Wakin. He's one of my teammates from my first Star Realms group tournaments. We had a team called Team Cleric, him, Trey, and Xenos. So yeah, he's one of the original guys. So wanted to give him a shout out.
He's on here.
We got pretty close. I think we got second place there. It was pretty good. Anyway, film school. Yeah, so I always wanted to be a filmmaker, so it felt like the natural step to do after my army service. So I didn't learn there how to animate, or like you said, I started out as a filmmaker more on the editing side. So the technical skills Tel Aviv University didn't really give me. It was sort of things I had to learn myself. But the thing I feel like I really learned there is how to tell a story. Okay, how drama works, how to develop characters. And even though Kickstarter videos aren't really, films or stories, they are. Okay, you still need to tell a story. You need to bring the viewer into the world, and you have the characters, and you want the viewer to feel something. So I feel like the university studies really helped me learn the core of that, and that's the base which everything else is built on. The beats, the drama, the emotional arcs. So I don't think that would have been so strong if I've not gone to film school. And, it's university, so I had a chance to learn some philosophy or other things like that, which is also nice.
So we first heard about Ori, actually not from Kickstarter videos, but because oftentimes on Kickstarters, it doesn't actually say who did the video, which was why I was like, let's have Ori on here so we can talk about the awesome work that he does. But I actually heard about it from our team members.
Yeah, we saw this. So one in the fan community, this awesome, hilarious video got posted, Scouts versus Vipers. I think I fell off the chair laughing when
we watched it over and over. Saffron, post the link below.
So Ori, tell us about that. Was that just you were just having fun? Like, how did that Scouts versus Vipers come about?
And Dusto wants to know when the next chapter.
Yeah. Well, I'll get to that in a moment. So yeah, Scouts versus Vipers. I always thought that it was something. I felt like Star Realms was very memeable. Okay, it has all these ships and hold on, I'm hearing the echo. Maybe I'll try to headphones. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds great.
I'm just hearing myself as an echo for some reason. Okay, there, that's better. So I was wondering how come no one has done that yet, and I kept trying to put time to do this because I thought it would just be a lot of fun. And I always wanted to see the ships, right there was the intro with the ships firing and the explosions. That's what I really wanted to do. And then I've always been a fan of Red vs. Blue, by Rooster Teeth, if you know that. So you can see it's pretty implied in the name. So I always wanted to see how would that look like in Star Realms. And to be totally honest, I don't know if you remember this, I wanted you to notice me a little. I've been doing like the Kickstarter videos, and I was like, I gotta do videos for White Wizard Games. I mean, back then you were White Wizard Games, so I said, let's try to do this. Do it with my time. Maybe it'll work. If not, I'll have a good time. So I got actually community members to do the voices. Sam Hill.
That part was really fun. Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah, Elizabeth Solomon and Paul Solomon all lended their voices to voice the characters, and they each had their part in the community, and they really I really try to typecast the Viper, the Scout, and the Freighter. And yeah, it was just a lot of fun. I wrote the outline. I have a friend which is very good with dialogue, so he helped me out with the dialogue, which is something I'm not as good as. And yeah, we just sort of went with it, and then we did the second one because we really enjoyed the first. The funny thing is, the first thing Debbie wrote me was, "Please put the graphic that we allowed this to happen in the beginning." So I was like, "Yay, that's something!" And I think I think the part that really blew me away was turning on the app. I play the app all the time. Even now I have like 15 games running. So I turn on the app and you have the ads in the beginning and the Scouts vs. Viper logo appeared. I was like, what? Oh.
Yeah, we put a link in the app for a little while. That was awesome.
We gotta get this everywhere. This is so... And you asked, why didn't anyone create this before? I mean, I think the answer is obvious as well. We don't have your skills, I mean, it seems like it takes a lot and it'd be really hard. I mean, is this the kind of thing that you think is pretty easy for someone to learn? Like, what's your take on that? I mean,
well, like I said, all of my animation related skills are self-taught. And with the technology we have nowadays, literally anyone could go to YouTube and load up a tutorial for whatever he wants to do. It's actually, thanks, Dusto. Now I'm going to be flooded with challenges.
Yes.
So, I just started actually doing tutorials myself. I posted last week a tutorial for Blender because it's so... and it's very easy to just download these programs. Not all of them are free, but Blender, for example, is for free. And there's all sort of other solutions. And you literally type what you want to do, and most of the times you'll have an answer. And I wanted to give back. I mean, working with the board game community for the past 2.5 years has been a joy. Okay, it's the best clients I could ever imagine. Everything is just fun. It's what I always wanted to do. It's making movies in some sort of way with the storytelling and the crazy worlds. One board game is a zombie world, and another one is space, and the other one is fantasy, and one of them is I have a game which is just pockets, live pockets. It could be anything. And each one has its own unique challenges. And I wanted to give back to this community. So I started creating specifically oriented to board game related issues with Blender. And the first tutorial that I made was how to just make the board game box. And yeah, I seem to have got a really positive response for that. Hopefully I'll do more. Cards, full layouts, maybe even animations. And just to give people like the basic skills that are just out there, just go and get it done.
One of the really exciting things for me about working with you on Kickstarter videos is as a member of the community, I know you get it as far as the underlying thing that we're trying to do, the game, what the games are about that we're bringing to people. And so I think it's helped so much to have someone who sort of understands what's going on behind the scenes, what the games are about, enjoys them personally and wants to sort of convey that to the viewers.
So you're asking how do I put all that together in the video?
Yeah, I was just sort of rambling about how awesome that is, but
I think it also plays into you were talking about storytelling, and I think in the Scouts versus Viper videos, you are telling a story. So Rob was just saying it's great that our community so that you can tell our story better, and that's super helpful. And other board games as well.
Star Realms specifically has a very special place in my heart because that's the game that got my wife into board gaming.
Yes.
So, this hobby wouldn't have happened if I haven't had my better half, also into it. And, we used to play a lot, and then the kids came, so we played a little less, but we still managed to sneak. And Star Realms is the perfect game to play when you have kids, because it's not long. There's not tons of components which they can destroy. And when they grow up, my son is now 4, they start to get it. There's the numbers and who made the simplified version? I don't remember. One of the community members made a simplified version of Star Realms, which you could play with kids, which is more, there's no all the special abilities. It's mostly just the numbers. And we started playing that with him, and he gets it. It's a way to teach math and very, very basic gaming strategy. So it's like part of my family now. So yeah, I've ever since Star Realms, I've backed every single thing from White Wizard Games, because I know it'll have that core mechanic which I love.
Yeah, and one of the playing with kids is awesome. Like my kids,
Morgan Tyson made the simplified Star Realms. That's so cool.
Around 7 years old is when they could really play sort of full Star Realms, with me. And
Rob does not let the children win, so they might be 10 years old by the time they win.
But they get very excited when that first win finally does happen.
Oh yeah. So yeah.
And you have some recommendations here from Paul on, maybe the next chapter, like Matt the Cutter could play himself as a commander.
So regarding the future episodes, so the good thing about it is I've been so busy, which means the business has been going really well, and I usually did those during my downtime. But yeah, I have episodes 3, 4, and 5 written. Okay. 3 has a script. I just need to find the time, get the gang together, and really record it. And just make myself the time to do this, because I found a very fast workflow now that I have, the first and second animated. So most of the assets are there. Plus, I have now secret access to the actual game assets.
Yeah.
So I don't actually have to cut out the ships manually, because you can give me the layered file. So that I hope. So
yeah.
So that would definitely make things much easier. So they are written. I'm definitely more. I have. I'm probably going to do it very soon, because all of this feedback is fantastic. So yeah, I owe it to the community.
Yeah, I think so. So one thing I know that I really like in working with you is you basically have a plan of how the different components that you need to make an awesome video, and you walk us through it, and you're like, okay, we need to do this, we need this, we need that. Could you share a little bit with our community here on how you think about the video production process, and how they might be able to think about it when they're working on videos?
Yeah, sure. So I don't know. I like to think about my workflow as more holistic than having a strict plan of you need to do this and this and this. I mean, I think the greatest example is the project we're working on now for Robot Quest, which is completely wild compared to anything we've done so far. Because I don't know if anyone knows this, but we have an animation that we got from Perfect Day, and we actually got a rap singer and a sound designer to do the music, and we're creating a sort of a rap, literal rap to go with the video, which is
really fun.
It's really fun. I love doing new things, and it's something I've never done before. I've worked. The sound guy is Tal Steinberg. He's local and he's amazing. And so, it's a new challenge. We figured out the pieces and we're putting it together. And yeah, it sounds great. I actually send you the latest version. You haven't listened yet.
We didn't listen to it yet, Rob.
Yeah.
I'd love to know you here. And so each project is different, like I said before. So we figure out what makes you, it's all about emotion. And especially with Kickstarter videos where, backers, you need to catch them in the first 5 seconds. So each time you want to make something which excites them, and it always comes from the creator. I always ask the creators, what excites you the most about your game? Okay, you don't need to give the layout of the rules. You don't need to explain. You don't need to say that it's fun. You don't need to say that it's easy to learn, hard to master. You just need to show the fun. Show, don't tell. And when they start, I get them to talk about the game and gush about what makes it exciting. Then I get those little points which we want to focus on in the video. And then, the fun thing about also board games, that you already have all this amazing art, which I can use. I don't need to create anything. I'm an animator, but I'm not an artist. Okay. I don't create my own assets. If I need to, I have other artists that help me with that. But with board games, everything exists. And I take every single thing I think is cool and I work with it. With Kapow, we took the characters, we animated them, and added all the super effects around, and then we did the 3D layout of the board game. And I felt like we gave the dice superpowers, because the dice, every time they fell on the floor, like the whole screen shook, and it made everything like really epic and stuff like that. And that's really the vibe of the game itself. When you play the game and you gather more and more dice and you chuck them all at once, and it sort of explodes, and you go, wow, I got all this combos. And so sort of try to meld them together. And if you want to get to the technical side, then we have, first of all, the script that we write down. And usually you want to do voiceover unless it's really not warranted. You have a voiceover track, and you find the music. And I like to animate on a soundtrack already, because then I know the energy that we're going into it. And I can spend hours on looking for the right music track for each one. I mean, we're literally making one for this video because it's so important.
Yeah, sound is so important. It's something that maybe people who are coming to it fresh don't realize. And that's, like, you're always great at finding the right sound.
Yes.
And not just music, but sound effects also.
Yeah.
Sound effects as well, which is also really important. Unfortunately, most people I think it's most people will start watching the video without the sound. And then if it gauges their interest, they might turn it on. Also, something which I've been really trying to make sure I do is adding subtitles, okay, for also the people that don't turn on the sound, but also for hearing impaired. That's very important. Maybe I should add like descriptions of the actual sounds that are happening. I don't know. It depends on the video. But then we start animating. I create sort of a very rough storyboard, or if it's a 3D video, I create the location. But I tend not to create the whole thing. I don't plan out the entire video. This is exactly what's going to be here, because I've done some films as live action. You never want to shut off the part which wants to experiment, which wants to say, okay, let's get the shot from here. Let's try something interesting. And thankfully with 3D, you can literally do that. You can find your shots and try something interesting which you haven't thought of before. In the Kapow video, there is this one shot which sort of tracks with the dice as they fly through the air. And that's something I haven't thought about at all until I reached that point of the video. And thankfully, most of my clients were totally on board with me to go on this experimental journey. So it's been just so fun, and that's why I wanted to do this, because it's what I enjoy.
Yeah, I think at this point you've built up a bunch of enough trust with people. They can see your stuff and know, okay, yeah, if Ori does our video, it's gonna look really cool. So yeah, run with it a little bit.
Or like, Ori, we trust you. Go do
Make it awesome.
I had a question for you about the sound. I don't know if you, and I know you work with sound experts, so I was curious if you had any resources that you'd recommend to people when they're looking for sound, because a lot of people, especially like newer game designers or indie game designers, are making their own videos. And like, where do you go to find good sound? And on your comment on voiceover, I highly recommend people hire, voiceover talent, because I've definitely watched some Kickstarter videos and been like, oh, wow, this video would have been like way better if they had a professional voiceover. I mean, some people can do a voiceover themselves, but do you have any recommendations on finding voiceover talent? I know these kind of questions get asked a lot in some of the groups. groups I belong to?
So I think we talked about this. Fiverr, okay, is something that's tend to look down on, okay, and I cannot recommend it enough. Fiverr has excellent voiceover options. Most of the people there are very kind, and you can like immediately figure out through reviews and chatting a little before you order. Okay, always chat with the person, figure them out. Okay, when we were looking for the rap singer, I talked to a few people, and you know, the one person that engaged with me and got excited on the project and asked questions, I realized, okay, this is the guy. And he's been amazing. He's been very receptive to feedback, and as you will hear, he did an amazing job. Specifically for sound related, so I could recommend Tal Steinberg. You know, he'll gladly take on projects if you're looking for professional sound design. We did a whole series of fully animated videos for a game called Legions of Steel, which we decided that's like one of my crazy ideas. Let's just make a full 3D video. And it's a miniature games with soldiers. So we did a full series about it. They actually have a Kickstarter now for some of their minis if you want to check it out, Legions of Steel. Other than that, there's a lot of free resources, okay? A lot of free resources for music. There is the YouTube Music Library, and it's always worth to do a little bit of that effort for the Kickstarter video, especially if you want to really get it up there. So find good stock music. You know, there's tons and tons and tons out there. Google is your friend.
Okay, great. And if anyone has any questions, you can post questions in the chat. And Ori, where can people see your videos and check out the work that you've done, and that the Blender tutorial as well? Where do they find that?
Okay, so there is the main website, which is Kagan Productions, which, you know, I always make sure to.
I just bought a battery alert. I have to.
1 second, Debbie's working on power. You can continue.
Yeah, Kagan Productions. Every time I show someone my logo, I look him in the eyes to see if they got the joke, because you know, I'm a dad. I'm allowed to tell those kinds of jokes. And there's a duck. And there's the Instagram page, which is also Kagan Productions, which I post not only my videos, I also post like just renders and behind the scenes stuff and just whatever cool thing I'm working on. I really want to share, and shout out to my social media gal, Dina Ramsey. I hope I pronounced her last name correctly. She's really helping me with Instagram tags. And, you know, I couldn't understand heads or tails of how Instagram works. Actually, you know, I tried to do it myself, and apparently I got sent to Instagram jail for doing something wrong. So yeah. She rescued me out of that, and she's amazing. Okay, so she helps me like write the tags and everything. And there's the Facebook page again, Kagan Productions. If you search online on Facebook, I post all my stuff there.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. Any last thoughts on tips for people on video production? And we don't have any other specific questions. Well, we do have some, but they're about other topics, which we'll get to after we're done with talking with.
I have one last one. A video, as much as I would love to make anyone's video, and you know, for sure, videos, as long as they have heart in them, that engages audience. And I want to point out an amazing campaign which came out like a few months ago, Cora Quest. Which
that was cool.
Had a dad and his daughter talking to the camera. And you would think, oh, they didn't put in the effort. No, they did. They did, and it showed. It just shone out of them. It was an insta-back for me because it had heart. It was amazing. It told a story, and it showed their dynamics, and it was real. So, yeah, you do want to.
I also love Cora Quest.
Yeah. You do. You need to show your heart is in your game, and that's how you gain trust Okay, the more if you see the video and it has amazing production values, that also gains your backers' trust because they know you put this effort into the video. But the moment they see that something is fake or not there, or your heart isn't in there, or it's a little cold, then they'll get cold feet. The moment your heart and your passion is showing, that's when then people connect to you. That's what I think about life in general, actually.
Yeah. So a very important question for you. Did you play last week's Star Realms Arena? And what did you think of it if you did?
I did. And this is the funny thing. I started the game. And at that moment, Debbie wanted to get on a call. So you called me and I have the game running. And
You're welcome, Ori's opponent.
I'm sort of figuring this out. I'm like, okay, and I can usually multitask a regular Star Realms game, okay? A regular game I can, but it had the missions and it had that weird scenario, and I was like, okay, concede. And I never concede. That was like a huge exception, and I did for you guys.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Ori.
It's been amazing. Thanks so much. I mean, you guys are the greatest.
Yeah, and if anybody hasn't seen them, we put up the Scouts versus Vipers link. You should check that out. And if you want to find any of Ori's stuff, we've got his links up as well.
Yeah, the links are posted in the chat. So, thank you very much, Ori. It was awesome having you. And yeah, it was great. And if people have additional questions, I'm sure post them on the Facebook post, and maybe we can try to answer them in the comments there as well. Thank you. So I'm going to say goodbye.
Thanks, Ori. Bye-bye. That was super fun.
That was awesome. So yeah, I and a lot of people say great job, Ori. So thank you, Ori, for joining us. And yeah, no, Randy Delvin's been suggested here as a future guest. So again, if you have additional ideas for people, they could be on our team. That Randy works for us. He's a rock star graphic designer. And he also does our like pre-production press stuff, getting the files ready for the printers. So if there's people on our team you want to hear from directly, if there's people in the industry that you're interested in, seeing us chat with, let me know. Would love to hear your ideas. And let's see, I had a question here. So if you have questions now about our products or our games, you can ask them now, and we're going to cover some topics. There was a question from Frank from Mexico. Hello, from Mexico. And he wanted to know, when are the new Hero Realms sets or are they going to be available in Spanish? So I don't know the answer off the top of my head. First of all, they will be available in Spanish. We partner with Devere, so we don't actually do the Spanish translations ourselves and the manufacturing of those products. Devere does those. So you could reach out to Devere on social media or to their customer support. But I can also check and see if we have any information on the timeline on that and bring it back. We do ask them for that kind of information. So sometimes we have it and sometimes, but we don't know their exact release dates and things like that. But the good news is, yes, they're continuing to translate and produce our games. We are trying to catch up and be a lot closer on schedule. And we have been providing files sooner. We've gotten a lot of really great processes. Adam on our team has been working super hard on getting everything organized and having processes in place for our language partners, so that they are getting the files sooner. But in many cases, they are behind us on the production schedule. But
and we really leave it up to our partners to determine what their best release schedule would be, so they can decide when is a good time to release the various sets.
Yeah, and oftentimes people want to do it around, events or conventions in their area and things like that. And then let's see, we have some suggestions on movies. Matt Newberg. I agree, Matt would be an awesome guest. Good suggestion. And let's pop over here to our next thing. So we are going to share some Sorcerer spoilers. My absolute favorite in the new stuff that's coming in Endbringer. I really want to get a tattoo, and I was like, oh, this character has some awesome stuff. So I'm trying to figure it out, but
so Tatsu is a one of the new Kickstarter exclusive characters that was unlocked as a stretch goal in the Sorcerer Endbringer Kickstarter. We've been finalizing all these sets, basically getting the print ready files ready to go, and we've added a step with this Kickstarter where we're putting the sets up on Tabletop Simulator so the players can kick the tires on them before we actually print the files. We're doing this because normally we get people together in groups in person for the play testing, and with COVID, that was not an option. So we're opening it up to the community. Tatsu is a really, really cool character. She's going to be going up on Tabletop Simulator very shortly. Let me talk a little bit about her mechanics. So Tatsu is a warrior. She gets in there and fights. Normally in Sorcerer, you playing the Sorcerer are more of a general behind the scenes. You can inspire your forces. You can move to different battlefields, and you can give benefits to the minions in those battlefields. But Tatsu actually gets in there and fights. So basically, you'll be able to attack each round with your avatar. So basically, where your avatar, the battlefield your avatar standee is in, one of the things you can do is you can exhaust your avatar skill card to attack in that battlefield with Tatsu herself. And when you do that, Tatsu has an attack of 1 die plus an additional die for every concealed card that she has attached to her skill card. So when you're playing as Tatsu, you have the ability to conceal cards. You can spend an action to take a card from your hand and place it face down under Tatsu, which will give Tatsu +1 attack. And you also will have cards that from concealed can be revealed to do cool stuff. I'll get to those in a minute. And with Tatsu's skill card, you can also activate it, spending an action to exhaust the skill card and draw 2 cards, and then pick any 1 card in your hand to conceal. And so basically, when you do that, you'll draw some cards. You'll get a card underneath Tatsu, and that doesn't prevent you from attacking, because at the beginning of each of the battle phase, your skill card will prepare. So if you used her skill to draw cards and conceal something, you'll also get to attack with her in the same turn. And then going on to the cards. Yep, great. So this Jade Emperor, this is an example of a attachment with the reveal ability. So this card, you could play it normally, where you would just play it like a regular card, and then you would ignore the reveal text. However, the way you're going to want to play this is to conceal it and then reveal it. While it's concealed, it's going to be giving Tatsu that +1 combat for being a concealed card on her. But all cards with reveal will have a scenario under which they may be revealed. So this one says whenever a player would evaluate damage during battle, you may reveal this card to attach it to a minion you control and reroll any number of battle dice. So after the roll's done, they've rolled, used their omens or whatnot. You've done it back and forth until players are happy with the roll. When both players pass and you're about to evaluate damage, you can then reveal this. At that point, it's too late to modify using omens and such, but this effect will give you basically one last reroll on that. And so that can be quite powerful. And of course, you can attach it to a minion to give it that +3 defense bonus. Once you've done that, the card is no longer concealed on on Tatsu, so you'll no longer get the combat bonus for her. So likely you'd attack first and then use this later. There are a question here.
There's a trap. They just said it was awesome. That
oh yes, yeah. So and there's more. Let's jump to another card here. Okay, so this one is a sorcery, which basically allows Tatsu to attack in your main phase. So basically, when you play this, you're going to conceal this card directly onto Tatsu. So basically, you'll play it. You'll gain your Omen. This card will then go face down under Tatsu, increasing her attack by 1. And then you can attack with your avatar. And this does not, unlike when you attack with the battle phase, this does not exhaust your avatar. So this basically allows Tatsu to make an attack during the action phase. So that's obviously as the game progresses, she might get more and more cards concealed attached to her, so it can do some significant damage.
I love this art.
Yeah,
she's
so beautiful,
so badass, and there's some really awesome lore behind Tatsu as well.
Oh yeah, and we have there's a lore update from a while back on the Kickstarter. All right, next we have the dragon scales. This attachment you can use when you attack with a minion. Of course, the minion has to be in the battlefield with Tatsu to be able to use this. To use any of these attachments. When you reveal it, you can choose one. You can either weaken an enemy minion, so you'll attack with your guy. Obviously, when this goes on, you'll be getting that bonus to attack. Or you can ready your avatar. And so obviously that can allow you to attack with Tatsu an additional time. So that can lead to some pretty devastating damage. A note on these, when you reveal them, you basically may play them. So basically when you meet the reveal condition and you reveal the card, you would then have to pay the energy. And then it's basically playing the card. You'd gain an Omen if the card has an Omen on it, and you attach it to your minion. So basically, it allows them to be played off turn without using an action when that comes up, but you still have to pay the energy. Okay, and then last one we have the Dragon's Tail, whenever one of your minions would receive a damage counter from a critical hit, so your opponent's applying a critical hit to one of your minions, you can reveal this, attach it to that minion, cancel that critical damage, and you can deal damage to the attacking minion. So basically, your minion parries with the katana and comes back and hits them. So that can be a really cool game-changing effect. So Tatsu has a lot of sneaky things that she can do during the battle, a lot of combat tricks that she can pull off with these concealed cards, and also gets in there for combat attacks. Note, if you're playing Tatsu with the werewolf lineage, which the werewolves can also attack with their character skill card, if you're using a werewolf attack, she will also get the bonuses for any concealed cards attached to her. So that can lead to some pretty nasty attacks with that combo. And that is Tatsu, and she's going to be up shortly on Tabletop Simulator. We can't wait for you guys to.
We have the files are submitted, and so our person will be helping us out getting those out.
Yeah, so
how to do that.
and again, well, as with everything with Sorcerer, such beautiful artwork. Really, really love the all the new sets. So one other thing I wanted to cover quickly was the Star Realms arenas. So last week's arena was
Everyone loved it.
a little controversial. Like, well, a lot of people did love it, and a bunch
Rob
of people hated
loved
it. I had a lot of fun with it. So basically, last week's arena, we had a whole bunch of new stuff going on. In that one, the trade row was the first slot in the trade row was all 1-cost cards. If you bought something, a new 1-cost card would show up. Second row was 2-cost cards, etc. So there were only cards of cost 1 through 5, but you could choose what you were buying. So you could, if you wanted, you could just buy a whole bunch of 1s. It also had missions, and it also had events. And because there was, because you could, if you wanted, just buy a whole bunch of cheap stuff, there was definitely the ability for a lot of events to come up. And we might have had some issues with the randomization, where I think we had a little more event clumping than we were initially intending when we put that design together. But the end result was, oh my goodness, so many events would be going off during the play. One of the things I like about Arena is that it allows us to do wacky, weird, different things, because the format only lasts for a week. It's okay if things are a little bit broken, because part of the fun is figuring them out. But sometimes, a week's arena will not be right for everybody. But I basically, whenever it's very different, I really enjoy it, because I like playing around with the goofy new mechanics. And we're definitely going to do this style of arena again without the events, because I think the whole market row being costs, specific costs in the different slots is a super interesting mechanic. So that's something we will revisit. But basically interested in people's thoughts. Did you love last week's arena? Did you hate it? I know there was a whole bunch of
lot of thoughts over on the Star Realms fan page on Facebook.
I personally had a lot of fun with it. Yes, there were some games where I lost due to a bazillion events coming up that felt a lot outside my control, but hey, it's pretty easy to jump in for another game. So
it's a lot of fun memes.
Yeah.
Thanks for the entertainment, everyone who created a meme.
And this week's arena is wildly different. In this week's arena, the primary mechanic is that you each turn, you can pick 1 card from your discard pile to shuffle into your deck. So a much higher level of control than you normally have in Star Realms, and certainly a lot more control than the event chaos we had going on last week. So I'm having fun with this week's arena as well, but totally different feel. That was the arena goodness.
Awesome. Well, we got some positive feedback. I liked it, but did not do well. I had a couple things that I wanted to give updates on as well. And there was another question. So one was sleeves. So last week, throughout the last week, basically, since people have been getting their Kickstarter products, some people have realized, I don't have enough sleeves. I need more sleeves, whether it's this is specific to Hero Realms or Star Realms sleeves, which are currently out of stock. And they're posting, hey, I can't find these anywhere. Sadly, because of COVID and the situation with the worldwide logistics, which we've talked about how things are delayed, weeks and months. We did reprint sleeves it feels like it was a year ago at this point, but it was a very long time ago that we put in the order to reprint all the sleeves. But first of all, it took a lot longer to complete the production because of COVID. And then we've had a lot of issues shipping the sleeves from where they were manufactured in Taiwan to get them here. So the good news is that the sleeves are expected to arrive at the end of May.
Yay!
So hopefully pretty soon, that would, if everything goes smoothly thus far forward, which it hasn't gone in the past, then it would be, early June, we'd have those available. As soon as they're available, we'll put them up on our store. We'll push them out to distribution. There isn't a release date on them. When they become available, we'll send them out.
Yeah.
We've already taken pre-orders from distribution. So retail stores and distributors have already put orders in. So as soon as they become available in our warehouse, we will send those out to distribution. And that's like a worldwide distribution thing. And some people asked if that's what was holding up, if they haven't gotten their Kickstarter stuff yet. It is not holding up Kickstarter. So what happened was, because the production was really delayed, we weren't gonna, even with regular shipping, we were concerned if we would get them in time for the Kickstarter fulfillment. So, at a premium cost for backers, for us, not to backers, we air shipped the amount of sleeves that we needed for Kickstarter backers to each of the regional hubs. So we have enough sleeves to fulfill all of the Kickstarter backers. And so that's not an issue. So don't worry if you backed on Kickstarter, and if you didn't get sleeves on Kickstarter and you realize you need a couple packs, I'm sorry. We're doing everything we can to get those. What's going on? We have a lot of emojis happening. So bizarre.
Yeah. So sleeves are on the way.
So they're on the way. Epic. I wanted to give a quick update on the Kickstarter fulfillment specific to Europe. So we've had some issues with our German fulfillment location. They had a confirmed case of COVID, and we were kind of told there was we had no idea when they were going to be able to start fulfillment, but it looks like they're going to be able to start next week. So that's great news for people in the EU. You should start seeing some shipping information next week on those. And the Kapow Pledge Manager, Dean, thank you for your patience. You've asked a few times about this. So we are working on it. It's going to be in CrowdOx. I have all the shipping estimates, and we think we'll be able to get that out this week. But we are working on it and trying to get that out as soon as we can. And that, we'll have all the add-ons available as well, like we normally do in the Kickstarter exclusive add-ons as well, if people want to add those types of things on in the Pledge Manager. But as we've said before, the Pledge Manager is independent of the production process. Everything's moving along on I don't know what's going on with that.
So there's apparently there's some raiders, so I guess they jump from stream to stream. So for those who just jumped in, we had a guest on talking about making videos, and now we're updating Kickstarter backers on what's been going on with their product and new products in the pipeline. So yeah, it might sound a little corporate meeting-y.
Wow, I haven't been called corporate in a long time. So I think those were all the things, unless we have any other comments. Oh, let's see. You heard that author Brandon Sanderson is looking for developers for a board game. No, but we can check into that. Where would we get that information? Did they post that on their social media or something? So Dan, if you can just shoot me a message in Facebook, or you can email support at wisewizardgames.com. And yeah, we'd love to follow up on that. I think I think I saw a post on someone talking about how much they enjoy those books, but I didn't know the context that they're looking for a board game publisher, or board game designers. So that would be great. Okay, so yeah,
I will. Anybody wants to play tomorrow, 7 p.m. I'll be streaming Star Realms live. You can, if you beat me down, you can win 100 credits.
These Raiders, Star Realms is a free app on Apple and iOS. Download it and play us.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody.
Awesome. Thank you. Bye.